Hi everyone, it's Claire from Gods Enchantments and welcome back to my channel. I am back on my channel. It has been a crazy few weeks, so I will start with some updates. The main reason I've not been here is the website has been super duper busy, so thank you very much for everyone that has been purchasing. I'm so glad that you are enjoying the subscription boxes so much, and the Samhain items have spoke to so many of you, especially with those crystal skulls, which I was super excited to be able to put in the kit for that price for you all. So I've been just madly just doing that, and I love that energy. So working in that as we've gone into October has just been so wonderful, and we're doing divination for the October box, and in the Ritual of the Month box for October we're working around the Wheel of the Year. We're doing the entire wheel, coming back to Samhain and welcoming the Witch's New Year. So really great stuff has been going on. Then the not so great stuff. Some horrid person with absolutely no manners decided to sneeze and cough on me and germify me. So if I look paler than usual, and I'm like white as they come, honestly, I don't tan. Self tanner does not even take to me. It's like I just have to be this color. I don't even know what to say. But I'm whiter than usual today. So yeah, I do not understand. I mean, public service announcement. If you're gonna cough, if you're gonna sneeze, cover your flipping mouth. Don't turn at someone and then sneeze on their face. Why? I don't even know. It's like my biggest pet peeve. And then you see the parents doing it, and then the children are doing it, and the cycle goes around again. And this is why like whole offices and stuff end up going out with like the flu and stuff, because germified people are everywhere. But anyway, back to the topic of this video, which is citrine. I have had loads of messages saying, when am I getting citrine back in the shop, because all the tumbles have gone, the very large generator sold, the little generator sold. I am doing a crystal trip to get some more crystal treasures for you all this month. If you want a intuitively chosen crystal, or if you want me to shop specifically for something like a citrine generator for you that wants to work with you and tune into your energy, those slots are nearly gone. So you can message me via the website or via the group, because the group has taken most of those slots now, as I only do so many, because I'm there for usually like 4 to 6 hours, and I have to shop for the website in that time and give each one its own time, because it truly is just me tuning in, zoning out, and just, you know, getting you your piece. So I only do a small amount, and I'm not gonna do more than that, because it's a real I like to keep it nice and special. So that's what's happening there. But anyway, citrine, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It is up there with black tourmaline for me. It is one of the most important crystals in my practice. I cannot have enough of it. When I go to get crystals for the website, I always come back with another piece of citrine for myself. So today we're going to talk about citrine, how to use it, what it's for, how to know if you've got the real deal or not. In fact, we're going to start there, because there's no point in going into the properties and how to use it if you don't know what you've got. And also my views on that. As always, they are my views. If you work with heat-treated amethyst effectively, that is absolutely great. You can share those experiences down below. Yes, so heat-treated amethyst and amethyst. Yeah, well, heat-treated amethyst, that's right. Heat-treated amethyst and real citrine. Natural citrine, I think is a good word. So when amethyst is in the ground, depending on its environment and the radiation and the heat and where it's at in our earth, will depend on if it stays amethyst, if it turns into a smoky amethyst, if it turns into a citrine, if it turns to a smoky citrine. Each of these crystals need a certain environment to do that transformation. And the way I look at it is where they are in the earth and their environment, and what they morph into in the end is what they were intended to be and how they were intended to be worked with. That is their energetic blueprint. Every single crystal, I keep looking at my crystals, I've got tons of them out here. Every single crystal has its own energetic blueprint, its own vibration, and its own set of correspondences. Oh, my eye is twitching. Oh, whenever I get a cold, I get an eye twitch. So I don't know if you can see that, but if you can, I apologize. Super annoying. Yeah, so they all have their own vibration and way for you to work with them. Now, what happens is natural citrine will come out of the earth as citrine and then go on the market, and that's what you'll get. Then with amethyst, there is a huge glut of amethyst. A lot of mines have more amethyst than they know what to do with, to the point that some mines actually are chucking it. They will just take it out. Some actually dump it, which I find horrific, but a lot of them will actually just put it in the holes they're filling in and just fill it over, because there's no market for it unless you start talking things like Uruguayan amethyst, which is a really, really deep purple, very sought after and very expensive. But your run-of-the-mill amethyst, we have so much of it. So instead what they do is turn it into a crystal that is highly sought after, highly spoken about, and that people want to find at a lower price point, because a lot of people entering in to crystals be like, oh, I want citrine, see the price of a natural piece and be like, okay, I'll leave that. But then they see this other citrine and they don't necessarily know it's heat treated and it's way, way cheaper. So they take that amethyst and they go put it in a big oven, kiln, whatever you want to call it, and they heat it really, really hot. Now, when it comes out, you can tell. I don't feel that you can really be tricked if you're educated on it into not knowing the difference, because there are some really big telltale signs. And as they heat it, the purple changes to yellow. Now, that yellow can vary from as in like urine yellow to like many yellow spectrums, not a honey yellow though, but the actual yellows in the color spectrum is the colors you're going to get in heat treated amethyst. And then they do encounter some problems which give you the telltale signs. Now, when they heat it, it technically doesn't change the molecular structure of the crystal itself, okay? But it does have a kind of almost not rubbery, but a weird feel to the outside of it in tumbled form, almost like it's been maybe waxed, that a natural one doesn't have. So it'll feel a bit different to the hand. Now, unfortunately, it's a bit washed out because it is pouring down with rain and pitch black outside at like 2 in the afternoon here. So it's not going to show you perfectly, but you can see, where is it? Yeah, there we are. See those white blobs here and here? Okay. That is where the colour has not taken properly and it turns white because there wasn't enough colour saturation of the purple in there in the first place. It's like I say, often they're using the lower grades of amethyst to do this because it's the gluts from the mines and the wholesalers that can't pass it on. So you'll get these weird frosty things. They don't look like natural veils, which you will see in beautiful natural stones. All the quartzes can have beautiful veils in them. They're not veils, they're literally clumps of white. That is a really solid indication you have a heat treated amethyst. Another thing that you can see is them turning really, really dark orange. That is not something you will see in natural citrine very often. And if you do, it'd be much more expensive because that only comes out of, how many mines is that now? Is that 2 mines? Not many, but anyway, it's very expensive. But it's not even that orange. That's a kind of really nice autumnal orange, and these will be kind of like a burnty orange. So they can go from like this kind of bright yellow, this is actually a bright yellow on there, to a really dark orange. Or they can be this colour and have orange specks in them, brown specks in them, or black specks in them. And that is where they have been burnt. So they've been heated for too long. So if you find any with specks in like that, again, that's not something you see in natural citrine. This is something you'll find that strictly comes from the heating process where they've overheated it and it's burnt. Now the other thing is, if you see clusters like this of citrine, you will be able to know immediately that they are heat treated amethyst, because citrine does not grow like this. That's why you never see natural citrine like this. It's not a natural way that it grows in the earth, a part of its formation and the way it heats and where and how these grow compared to citrine. So you don't see these naturally. I think there's maybe a couple of museum specimen pieces, like museum pieces, where it has come out the earth like this. They're not something you see on general market. If it's like this and it's yellow or orange and being sold as citrine, these are often the ones where you'll see the little points at the end have the little black, red or brown dots, because these get really easily burnt. That's heat treated amethyst. Okay, now like I say, these originally were amethyst. This has its own vibration, its own energy. Heating it in an oven or kiln, in my opinion, and turning it like this does not give it the energetic properties of something like this that took hundreds or thousands of years to turn that colour. Because when it happens in the ground naturally, it doesn't happen in a few hours like it does in these ovens. It happens over a very long period of time. It is very gradual, and it depends on the intensity of the where it is and the heat or the radiation as to how intense the colour's going to be. And when it's dug up, if it was left in that earth and it still had that environment, it would still continue. But it takes so long, and during that time, its own energetic imprint, its vibration is gently mutating with it. And this is the general view. I cannot speak for all crystal therapists and magic practitioners and all the rest of it. But the ones that I have worked with, the teachers I have worked with, and the practitioners I've worked with, this is generally how a lot of us feel about it. You have to assess how you feel about it. So that's happened over a very long period of time, and our Mother Earth has been a part of that. It's taken on a new vibration as it's gone along. That's gently changed and evolved into citrine. This has been heated very quickly to turn it into this. Now, it is proven that molecularly it does not change anything to do with the crystal. So why would we think that it would vibrationally change anything to do with it? Because we've changed the colour really quickly. If I took this crystal and it was an agate, a natural brown agate come out of the dirt, and I go and dye this blue, which you can do, you can buy that, it's not going to change its vibration. Therefore, it's not going to change its properties and its imprint. I've just got some dye in there. So that's how I think about the whole vibrational thing. The other thing that bothers me, and this is why I don't use man-altered crystals at all, the other thing that bothers me with these type of crystals is the fact that when they go in, they may put in 100 pieces. By the time they open that oven, if you like, 50% of that is going to be smashed to smithereens or more. 50% is like your average. It can be anything more than that. when they aura treat crystals, a huge amount of those crystals is smashed to pieces. That's why they're so aura treated crystals are so expensive, because the coating they put on it is expensive, and then they lose half or more of that smashed to smithereens. So you're paying for what was lost. And with this, you don't end up paying for it, because it's not a particularly expensive process just to heat this. They're not bonding anything to it, and it is a very cheap stone to start with, often that, you know, is leftovers and stuff that can't be passed on. So they can just up it a little bit because they're calling it citrine, but not pass on the massive price that you would get with ore and stuff like that. So we've taken crystals that are perfectly beautiful amethyst from the earth. We have then fiddled with them as people, and then half of them's been destroyed when they had their own energy and their own job to do after being dug up. And we've just like destroyed them. Some may become chipstones, some may, you know, be hopefully tumbled. A lot of it does get dumped because it's like massive pieces of matrix with a tiny bit of crystal, and they're not saleable, so that gets dumped, and the rest gets passed out. So for me, energetically, that's not something I want in my practice, magically or healing wise at all, because we have become a destructive force. And you may have a crystal that went in like this, that then shatters in half and then is separated from its like where it was meant to be, and it's just, it's messy, it's not nice, it's destructive, it's humans being destructive again. So I don't feel it has any use whatsoever, magically or healing wise, in the form of citrine, particularly when it comes to abundance, prosperity. You will want to put that energy into your prosperity work. So that is how to kind of tell you've got heat treated. How do you, now we want to look at natural, obviously. So natural citrine is a honey colour, like this. Now if I get the other one, where to go? See if I can hold them without them flying off. Now you see the difference. This is a beautiful honey coloured natural citrine. This citrine, now you can tell it's yellow, is yellow with white. So you can really see the difference there. Now, citrine comes in the whole range of what we usually refer to as honey colours, which can be really pale honey, all the way to really dark honey and like a ambery colour. So that's a natural citrine, okay? Now, natural citrine, for the most part, like the majority of it that we see on our markets, come from Brazil, or Africa and the Congo. Now, Congo Citrine is the most expensive. The reason for this is kind of twofold. It's actually going to be going up in price, because there's going to be a tax on that. The country has realised now what a prized possession that they've got, and you know, they're adjusting accordingly on how things can be shipped out and prices that are going to be put on things. So if you see some, you want to snap that up before that goes into effect next year. Now, Congo Citrine is highly prized. One, because it has a beautiful colour to it. Two, because they do not heat treat out there. So, you know that if you're getting something from a supplier who genuinely has Congo Citrine, which again comes from having really trusted suppliers. I trust who I get my crystals from. They go out to the countries to get the crystals. They know the mines, they know where they're coming from. I can get a chain of where they've come from, and it's a very small chain compared to something you may get generally. It's usually, it goes like from the mine, then it will go and get like polished, then it might go and get like there's carvers involved. Some has to go out to carvers. Then they'll go out to the first set of wholesalers, which are like the massive ones. Then it will come down to the smaller wholesalers that will sell to smaller businesses. Then it will come out to those businesses, and then it will come out to you. So there's like a big chain there. Whereas I prefer to try and go from mine to my supplier to me. And there are a couple of occasions where I'm very lucky I can go from mine to me. So I'm constantly working on getting contacts so that I can work that way and know where everything's coming from. But if you get genuine citrine from the Congo, you can guarantee that is not amethyst coming out of there that has been heat treated, because they don't do that process. Now, Brazilian citrine is actually, oh, I just love it. It's beautiful. It just is so, it's beautiful energetically. I love it. I love them both, but you know, but they do heat treat amethyst out there. So you need to, again, be trusting your supplier, knowing how to recognize it. And it's slightly cheaper. But when I say cheaper, I'm going to say less expensive than the Congo. So it's a really good entrance way in for you with natural citrine. So this is a natural citrine, and now you're going to see the difference between veils and the white that's in that other. So this is natural citrine. Now this is something even more special in my opinion. You see that dark line down there? That's a smoky phantom. So this is a smoky citrine. That's the only smoky in it, and we'll talk about why you might want a smoky citrine. But you can see the citrine itself is beautifully clear at the top. It is a very light honey color. Then as you come down, you see those little wisps. They're what we call veils inside the crystal, and they're wisps. There's no actual white. They're made up, if you look closely with your eyes or with a little crystal loupe thing, then you'll be able to see they're actually made up of teeny tiny little dots, and they're what we call veils in crystals, compared to, there we go, chunky white like that. There's none of that in there. They're all veils, and there's some beautiful rainbows in there. Gorgeous. So this is Brazilian citrine, and it is so amazing. Just, I love it. And you can really tell the difference once you start looking at these pieces. The difference in color is really noticeable. Now, properties of citrine. Citrine is the first and foremost prosperity and abundance stone. If you want to draw money into your life, if you want to have success in your business or your job, then this would be the stone you would use to get extra funds, to work on getting a raise at work, to work on building a bigger business. You would use citrine. That's why it's really great in generator form, because you can make really good grids from it. You don't need necessarily one this size. I have a grid set up down there that's got a little citrine on it. I've got them in all sizes, and they're much more affordable to get. Now, grid work with citrine is a really powerful way to use it, but you can also program tumble stones. You can make little prosperity and abundance boxes. You can make little mojo and charm bags with them. It is a really powerful stone to work with that way. But something people often miss is, because they're so focused on the prosperity and the money side of things, citrine does not just bring an abundance of money. If you want to attract into your life an abundance of good health, if you want to attract an abundance of happiness and joy, an abundance of love, then this would be a stone that you would want to work with for all of those things. Anything you want an abundant amount of, citrine is a great stone to go to. You can also, because it is from the quartz family, as long as you have one that does not have any cracks in, does not have any inclusions, is definitely natural, and you've sterilized it, It can go in your water safely. I prefer to use the indirect method with all of my crystals, and I always recommend doing the indirect method. If you'd like a video on direct and indirect, just let me know in the comments down below, making gem elixirs and gem waters, that sort of thing. But it is very, very versatile, being from the quartz family. You can carry it on your person, you can wear it as jewellery. Be aware a lot of the jewellery out there is heat treated though, so really shop around to get nice natural piece. Sphere's another really good way to work with it as well. It's also a really good gemstone for healing. Particularly good if you are a woman and you suffer with menstrual cramps and menstrual problems. You'd want citrine in your sort of healing little kit, along with some chrysocolla and some malachite, some bloodstone. They would all be great stones in combination together with natural citrine for any kind of woman's uterine health problems. If you want to work for general healing, then it's really good for any kind of mental health problems, because it does have a more happier vibration to it. So if you suffer with depression or anxiety, you can work with crystals alongside your medication, so you can add that in as part of your holistic part of your healing. So it's a really good stone. I keep saying stone, you know, instead of crystal, and I'm wondering why that is. That usually means something. I'm probably meant to find a stone. Now another combination that you can work with this crystal is with the Smoky Quartz, like this. Like I said, it's got the Smoky Phantom in there. Now I had a generator a bit bigger than this last time I went crystal shopping, and it flew out the second I showed it. I am going to try and see if I can get another one, because so many people were disappointed they did not get that piece. Now the reason that Smoky Quartz and citrine together are such a powerful combination is because citrine is all about that abundance and that prosperity, and a lot of people want to use it. Let's face it, when I start talking to you about citrine, you're thinking money. Now, the problem with money drawing that a lot of people have is they don't start from a good base. If you have always got yourself into crippling debt, if you've always had trouble managing your money, if there is negative energy, thoughts or feelings around money for you, or maybe there has been in your family for generations, there has been a sense of lack going back, and that's been passed on to you. If you just start working with citrine by itself to draw in that prosperity and abundance, it will do that for you. But you're going to still have those same problems of a mindset of lack, or maybe not being able to manage your funds when they come in. Maybe you will get that promotion at work and the money will come in and you'll just go and spend that extra money as if you never had it each month. These things will keep following you. But when you add Smoky Quartz with citrine, Smoky Quartz transmutes any kind of negative energy, low vibrations. It's very good at healing through those things, of changing the vibration of those things, helping you change your way of thinking, and even healing back through a line. So it helps you to balance everything out and work on those issues that you maybe already have that have led to where you are right now. It's also very protective. So yes, our citrine we could use to call in prosperity and abundance, but we want something to protect if we are talking about money. But this could be happiness, like I just said. It could be an abundance of good health. The Smoky Quartz and the citrine still work the same way. If you are calling in an abundance of good health, but you have had a lack of good health, and you have very negative feelings around health, like you can't get better or you won't get better, then citrine can only do so much by itself, but add in that smoky quartz and all of a sudden you're working to a whole different level, using 2 vibrations to come together and help you with your working. So it protects what's coming in. So if you've called in more funds, it's going to help protect that money, help you keep that money safe, and to keep that abundance flowing through your life and your money protected. If you're calling in good health, it's going to help that good health come in and then be protected. So it's a really, really powerful combo. Now, of course, you could take a citrine tumblestone and a smoky quartz tumblestone and use them together. That would work really great. I personally, in my practice, have found that having the 2 in combination in one piece together is a more powerful combination, but you can certainly work with them separately and bring them together. If you are going to do that and bring the 2 pieces together, then I would really recommend also popping in something like a clear quartz point. A double terminated clear quartz point would be ideal, just to help really connect them, because you can connect them with either end of the point and it will magnify their properties and bring them together for you if they're not in one piece. You don't have to worry about that so much if they're in one piece for you to work with. So I think that's like a lot about citrine. Is there anything else to cover? I think we've covered a lot of its properties, a lot of ways to work with it. If you have any questions, leave them down below if I've missed anything else. I have cold brain. I should have written really notes, so I'm sorry if this video is a bit discombobulated. I really should have wrote myself notes, but it just feels so unnatural to have notes in front of me and then have to be looking at them, and then let's face it, I'll just get confused and be off anyway. So so I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, come over to the closed group and join us there. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will be back with a new video soon. Have a wonderful day. Blessed be.